Hey family, so I'm just leaving a conference and there were over 50 millionaires. And when I tell you, rich people think so differently. And I know we know that, but it's so good to be in the room just to listen. And we get it. Making money is a wonderful thing. It can change your family, your finances, your future. But even beyond making money, it's a mindset. And here's what I learned. Number one, all of us are self made, but only the successful will admit it. And what that means, family, is many of us do not want to be honest with where we are in our lives because we don't want to take accountability for the things that we did, the decisions that we made, and the actions that we took that got us here. And I know that's hard, family, when you feel like things happen in your environment that brought you to where you are. And true indeed, it does. We know it's hard to admit when situations and people that we're involved in take us to where we are. But family, I heard a quote that said, we are born looking like our parents and we die looking like our decisions. So in this season, as we're able to change our lives and change the trajectory of our lives, we have to start taking responsibility for where we are so that we can start changing things in our own lives. Number two, we get out of life what we think we deserve. We get out of life what we think we deserve. And it's so important to know, family, our belief in ourselves, our self worth, what we think about ourselves, the things we speak over ourselves, it all adds up to who we are today. And it all matters. We get out of life what we think we deserve. And at the end of the day, family, you have to believe that you deserve more. You have to believe that you want more in your life if that's what you want. And if you believe you deserve more, you can start moving like you can have more and start attracting more in your life because of your belief. And we get out of life what we think we deserve because honestly, family, that belief in self is so important. And many of us are not taught to speak over ourselves, to encourage ourselves so that we can trust and know that we are someone on the road to being someone even greater and better than we already are. What we believe about ourselves matters. And we get out of life what we truly think we deserve. And the third lesson I learned on how rich people think different is that they truly believe that when you do the things that other people are not willing to do, then you get the things that other people are not willing to get. And it's so true, family. When you change these habits, when you wake up on a certain time, when you decide to get out of bed in the first 10 minutes that you wake up, when you put pen to paper, when you take action in your life, when you dominate in your certain spaces, when you make a plan and a budget, right? When you sit here and decide that you no longer want to break promises that you are making to yourself, that's when the miracles happen. And that's you doing things that other people aren't willing to do because, family, I'm telling you, most people are not moving like you're moving. They're not deciding that they want to do different. They're saying it. Everyone wants to say, oh, I want to be rich, or I want more, or I want better relationships. But the action behind it, that takes a lot. And to change is hard. And true change is waking up every single day and deciding that you want differently than you had the day before. That's true change. It is a mental decision to do something new and different. And when you're doing things, other things that the average person is not doing, then you reap the rewards that the average person is not reaping, family. And it's so true. Number four, today in a room I learned that just because you can't see it does not mean it's not there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And family, at the end of the day, we have these goals, right? We have these dreams, but we tell ourselves that we can't obtain things. We believe and we argue for our limitations. And at the end of the day, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Family, every single day, you're getting closer to greatness. Every single day, you're getting closer to that highest and best version of self. And just because you can't see your blessings right now doesn't mean they're not there. They are coming, they're on the way. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not on the way. So we have to start understanding that, okay, we may want more, we may want different, we may want better, but it's coming soon and very soon. Number five, in meeting these 50 millionaires, the big common theme in the room was your emotions and understanding that almost everything that's done is done better when done calmly. And it's not that emotions are bad. No, we need emotions. God gave us emotions. But almost everything is done better when done calmly, because family, your emotions serve their purpose. But we have to learn how to self-regulate. We have to learn how to stay in our own frames and to calm ourselves so that we can have different and better reactions moving forward. Number 6, and this was a big one for me, you don't have to believe everything that you think. When you're on your verge to growing and making money and building your business and working on yourself and all the things in your life, you have to understand that you don't have to believe everything you think. And that just because a thought comes in your mind doesn't always mean it's a thought that originates from you. It can be things happening externally. Depending on your belief, it can be the enemy. It can be so many things, but it doesn't always mean that these are the thoughts that are really going to come to fruition in your life. And when these negative thoughts come, family, we have to pull them down, pull those strongholds down, and replace those thoughts with better and positive thoughts, and continue to think good thoughts so that we can no longer think those bad thoughts. And it is hard and it is a process, but just because we think a thought doesn't always mean that it's necessarily true. Because if we think enough bad thoughts, we'll talk ourselves out of greatness. We'll talk ourselves out of blessings. We'll talk ourselves out of moving forward due to fear, due to limitations, due to unhealthy situations and environments that we might be a part of. Just because you think a thought does not mean that it's true. Number 7, a lesson that I learned from the 50 millionaires in the room is that if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And think about it, family. If nothing changes, nothing really changes. If you want to change your life, if you want to make a decision to be better and to do more and to have more, that starts with you changing yourself. Really going within and mentally making up in your mind that you want better, and mentally making up in your mind that you want new and different for your own life. It is creating a change from within, because everything you change on the within, your inside, your external will start to reflect your internal. Your external life will start to reflect what's going on inside of you, family. And if nothing changes, then nothing changes. Nothing's going to change if we don't change. Nothing will change if we don't make the decision to do. Nothing is going to change if we don't make the decisions to act, to pray, to take action, to allow, to surrender. And at the end of the day, family, when we are moving forward to making true change and creating true change in our lives, it's a mindset. Number 8, the other lesson that I learned is that people don't see things the way they are. People see things the way they are. People don't see things the way they are. People see things the way they are. Because, family, our perceptions, our experiences, the things that we are living make us see things the way that they may not be. We're seeing them based on our perspective. If you've gone through a lot in your life, if you've had bad or tough relationships, if you've had unlucky breaks, then sometimes we can see things from a glass half empty mindset. Sometimes we won't always see things from a positive frame or a positive angle, because that hasn't been our life experiences. So I challenge you, family, like I challenge myself, to ensure that we're seeing things the way they are and not necessarily the way we are. Number 9, and I heard this from one of the millionaires in the room, and he said, there are 3 kinds of people in life: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that don't know what happened, right? Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that don't know what happened. So when you want to make things change in your life, you have to truly change your behaviors, change your strategy, and change your approach so that you can reinvent your life. And last but not least, family, number 10, lesson that I learned from the millionaires in the room is that average is the enemy, but success is your responsibility. Average is the enemy and success is your responsibility. And I've said it before, family, and I'll say it again. A lot of us are out here moving like and acting like we're common, but there's nothing common about you. Where? There's nothing common about you, because there's nothing common about a chosen person all day. Your life is uncommon. You are uncommon. It doesn't matter the stresses and the trials that you're going through in your life. Family, you are the truth. And sometimes we got to be out here moving like we're greater than we think we are, because we are not average. Because a giant doesn't see that he's a giant when he looks in the mirror. We learned that from Kanye West's documentary. Because when we look in the mirror, all we see is us, but we don't know how great we are. So in conclusion, family, I learned so much today, and it sort of reinforced a lot of the beliefs that I already had. It reinforced a lot of my thought processes, and it helped me to overcome and learn new and different things just by networking and meeting new and different people. And so, as important as it is to have money so that we can live the life we want to live and do the things we want to do and help the people we want to help, it's a mindset first, that we got to get our minds together so that we can have more, that we have to get our thoughts together so that we can think better thoughts and do better things and attract better outcomes for our lives. And there is nothing average about you, because you are an uncommon person, and every single thing in your life that you want is coming to you. But it all starts with us getting our minds together and getting our thoughts right and preparing ourselves to win and dominate in our lives. There was nothing different about those 50 millionaires and us as individuals, other than their thought processes, other than their beliefs that they have in themselves. Family, at the end of the day, whatever you want in your life, it's going to come to you. And anything that you're working on is going to come to fruition as long as you know and understand that your belief matters, your mindset matters, and the thoughts that you think matter when it comes to attracting the life that you want to live. Just something to think about. Stay inspired. And by the way, I want to say thank you all for watching my videos, for subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot to me. My channel is growing. I started YouTube with the intention of just sharing the many lessons that I learned along the way. And I'm so happy to see that it's resonating with so many people. I hope you have a good day. Stay inspired.